This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. Metal construction, is it? I've never heard of this box before. It contains things. Very interesting. It's certainly very heavy. What's this? That wasn't there before! A bloodstain. Hold on. Did we miss that?
Oh god, did we?
No, what? How the fuck did we miss that? I turned this entire thing over like this, completely missing it. I'm gonna go back and look at the footage to see if it was ever present. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think, just like the instant we handed to him blood first, he's like, oh, there's a blood stain here. There is? I mean, oh yes, of course. I knew so all along. Oh my god. I knew you were gonna say that. I can never just be grape jelly. This was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes. To think Gina's been carrying this around with her. To think we've been carrying this around with us! If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. What? No, it's a completely wrong color! Correct! There is a blood stain on there! What?
Imagine Holmes somewhere, like, in the background going, I told you so.
Oh my god. I mean, that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips. Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. The inspector's dumpy. They suggest that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed.
Of course. Right.
What?
Of course.
Oh, are you trying to do the curbside? They don't do that at IHOP. Yeah, you have to go inside it either way. That can't be. There was no mention of any dumpy in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the sandwiches made off with the dumpy, hoping to sell it. Well, I found it, me, with me nose for trouble. That makes me angry. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Or dumpy, as it's colloquially termed. Unless, of course, we're talking about someone who was present when the victim was killed. What? And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Because of the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked at the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk.
Take that.
So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's dumpy? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport? His pockets! But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? Dots. At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Groose. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... I'm lying, of course, because I'm not on a witness stand. I don't have to tell the truth. I can be a filthy, filthy liar, pants on fire.
We have about 10 minutes.
That's fine. I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose. To kill!
Gregson.
To kill! Oh no, Mr. Naruto, surely you don't think... Ha 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 ha. Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. Can you prove I was on the Groose? Or is the Groose perhaps too loose? As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt?
I don't like that look.
Because...
I'm supposed to be the top here.
Because... I take your challenge. That you were there on that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson?
Are you the assassin?
He was assassino. There's a clue that you've overlooked, a secret that Dumpy can tell us. I can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. Where is the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asogi to Inspector Gregson?
Got it!
This is your proof? What do you say to that, Prosecutor Asogi? Personally, I think tying the defense counsel to the inspector's trunk and tossing it to the sea would be more helpful. Wait, was that on it? At least that way, London's courtroom.
Well, because we don't have anything that... We don't have proof that either of its swords are chipped from hitting it. All we know is someone hit it. So I think it's inside.
We didn't find anything else inside the trunk, just the passport. There was literally nothing in there.
What's up with
Oh, well, it could have just been the passport, because... That's...
Got it!
This is your proof? Wait, no, that's still not right. Shit. What... What is it, then?
Is it on the bottom?
No? There's nothing in here.
Is it on the top?
There's nothing in here! It won't let me touch anything! Is it... the blood? There's literally nothing else I can do. I've done everything on here except for the blood.
Got it!
Oh, jeez. There isn't anything, then.
Hold on, what do they say again when they look at the papers?
Got it!
Literally the first thing I tried to do it. Apparently I had to open it up first. To get the tip inside. For fuck's sake.
It's okay, you gotta open me up first to get the tip inside.
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade. A blade? Kazuma. Honey. Slung around your waist as ever today is the esteemed blade Karuma. What? This thing? Of course it is. Won't you draw it, here in this courtroom, for all to see? Why don't you just whip it out? I'm gonna save before I do anything else, because now I'm down to 1 health. And so if we ever fail, we have to go back to our last save. Ryunosuke.
There are people here.
Oh my god! Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. That won't be necessary. Oh no! The tip is broken. He has been circumcised. What the? That's not what the... Whatever. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Kazuma Asogi? In hindsight, I probably just shouldn't have brought the sword with me to court today. Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you.
Or use the other sword.
Or use the other sword. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. What? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Shikoku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk, but I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never going to do it. We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Shikoku arrived safely in London the following day.
And if there's anyone that was able to get close to Judge Shikoku other than him, and kill him without, like, least suspect.
No one's seen Judge Shikoku in least a day, so I don't think he's alive anymore, I'm gonna be honest. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to the canal to Dunkirk. These fucking English names. And then we boarded the SS Bruce and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. He went to Judge Shikoku's cabin. Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent the night at a boarding house in the town, and returned to England the following morning. Boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be on the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then what became of Shikoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger, and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder. Really, dude? You took on an assassination attempt? And you're still pointing the finger. You're still fingering me? You really are fingering me in front of everyone in this fucking courtroom? You whipped out your fucking sword and you proceeded to finger me? Fuck you, dude. In fact, I'll fuck you myself if I have to. But if you did nothing as you claim, then how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's dumpy? Foreplay. I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Fuck you. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence.
Look at the sword. Find the papers.
I'm gonna fucking...
Give me kisses.
I'm gonna fucking scream. The great sword Karuma has been entered into the court record. Now, we must take immediate action now. Look at the sword and prove Shiku's wife wrong or correct. Immediately. We have 4 pages of evidence. There's so much fucking evidence. Karuma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty, I want to gaze on it for hours. I could just stare at Kazuma's fucking huge sword. Oh my. So where on the handle did you want me to look exactly?
The tip. It's probably not going to show up because we're not looking for that.
You'd be surprised. There's nothing to click on either of these.
What about the tip of the blade where it's broken?
Well, that point in particular, sure. The tip of the great sword broken. It's such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. To verify whether Seishiro Jikoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Shikoku may have been killed? A Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? I don't know what you're trying to say here, but fuck you. If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. But I'm not, so I can't. Order. Order in court. Order. We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Yes, now! It is my turn on the jungle gym! Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst. Oh no! Not Judge Koku! No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. Would have to agree. Mr. Naruto, for the defense's sake. My lord? I sincerely hope we are successful. Gina? Why hasn't Gina been targeted?
What if she has, and then Gregson's like, no.
It's more likely that they literally just forgot that she was a defendant. Is the thing is that's the only explanation, because they have not even brought it up. They made so sure that we knew that Natsume got away, and they had they fucking put so much stress on it during during case 3. But in this game, they have not mentioned the fact that Gina was a defendant in the first game even once. Like, it's weird. If we are unable to confirm Judge Mr. Jikoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Who? Oh, yes. Ah. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Everybody left now, Mr. Naruto. Why are we still here? Kazuma-san, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. Dots, I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jikoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careening is the proper word, towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. We can leave. We can leave.
Oh, we can leave.
Of course! We flee the country! The little Mr. Sholmes doll that Iris gave us. Remember when I gave you this like half an hour ago? Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears or not? Nah, it's probably fine. We can save it for later. There's this one of Iris's inventions. There's no telling what might happen. For all I know, it could cause a huge explosion.
Or another sucker punch to the face.
Or a big explosion. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mr. Naruto. Compared to the trial ending immediately after this recess, a huge explosion might be preferable. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Miss Usato. But I suppose you're right. If there was ever a time for taking a risk, it's now. Here goes then. I'm going to do it. Good luck, Mr. Naruto. Pull that ear. No looking back. Heave! Ow! That scream. Sound like Mr. Sholmes. Oh no, it's a voodoo doll!
Oh no!
Mr. Sholmes, where are
This
you?
is how we get Sholmes to work.
Here, my dear fellow, here! What?
He was
It's a felt doll talking! Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruto! As hard as you can! Alright then, I'll put all my strength into it. Heave! Ah, please stop! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. Mr. Sholmes, where are you?
They're walkie-talkies.
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Groose. The SS Groose? She left over last night after the final pieces of Kirgo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underwater again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France? Yes, I fled the country. Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. We took a cab to a train to a boat in order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you've already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place? Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Sherlock Holmes? World-famous detective.
He's been fucking with us the entire time. Every deduction was just him fucking with us.
I've been recited to perfection. Well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it! Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Miss Susato, gently with this genius's ear, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Bruce.
Oh, that makes more sense.
At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Ah ha 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 ha! But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That will be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us when if you're not in touch first. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated that way? Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine.
I thought it would be funny.
Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes. We have but half that now before the Bruce puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Nepal's before long. Yeah, we're Mikotoba.
Yay!
There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow.
What are you looking around?
Hold on. Okay, I thought there would be a better pause there, but I think now is a good time for us to take a break,
And
go get food, eat, and then finish this case once and for all. Next time on Side by Side Plays, I am Shiku Holmes. Shiklu. I can't combine them very well, but I am Shiku Holmes. Herlock Shiku. Fuck, I can't do it. Anyway.
And I'm waifu.
Anyway.
Or whoever the fuck.
Anyway. You are my dear Wilson. Waifu Wilson. That one flows together.
Mommy? Does that mean you're my mommy?
Oh my. Oh my indeed.
There we go. We found the mom.
I'm the mum. I did male impreg. It is my favorite kink. Mr. Sholmes, what the fuck? Ah!
You've done it. You have deduced
You've just said
the fact that you were created in a lab.
What?
That's why I'm a chemist.
Obviously.